Hey, everybody, this is your boy Jim Austin coming to you from the Stockyards Podcast recording studios in the historic Stockyards. We're here on North Main, 2029 North Main, and this is powered by Jim Austin Online. This is my weekly podcast on the Austin File. And the Austin File talks about commercial real estate, how to invest and what to do. We also keep you abreast on what's going on in North Texas, but we also talk to individuals that are special, that have something to say. So today, I am so proud to have my brother on the line, Commissioner Roy Brooks. How you doing, Roy?
I'm doing well, Jim. How are you this morning?
Man, I am excited. And I was watching that World Series last night. Another great game, game two, and the Tampa Bay was able to come back and tie up the series. So that was exciting. But right now in North Texas, there's so much going on in the area, with politics and entertainment and a lot of exciting stuff. But we're just going to talk a little bit and chat a little bit about, our history, our relationship, and then tell the audience what you're excited about with this new election that's coming up. But Roy, talk a little
What
bit.
I'm excited about right now is being with you on Jim Austin Online.
There it is. There it is. That is true. I'm so excited that I was able to catch up with you and get you on my show. Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up and, what's been going on in your life, sir.
That is a question that begs for a long-winded answer, but I'll try to keep it concise. Born in Washington, D.C., while my father was in medical school at Howard University. When he graduated in 1951, number 3 in his class, he moved his family, wife, and 4 kids, one each year of his med school studies, moved his wife and 4 kids back to Fort Worth and set up a medical practice in the Black business district on East 9th Street in downtown Fort Worth. Roughly 9th and Jones was where his practice was located. And he practiced medicine here in Fort Worth for 50 years or more. A good portion of that time, he was the social safety net, always seeing patients regardless of their ability to pay. One of his proudest days of practicing medicine is when the Johnson administration passed the Medicare and Medicaid Acts, because then he could reliably get paid the work that he did practicing medicine in Fort Worth. So I am the third of 5 children. I'm the middle child. Just parenthetically, Jim, today would have been my brother Jackie's birthday. So I'm a little, I'm mindful of that even as we talk.
Well, Dr. Jack was in my mind when I arrived here in 77. I knew no one in Fort Worth, Texas. I came here as a proud graduate of Howard University and also employed by American Express. When I got here, the only person that I knew was your brother, that we
Right.
attended Howard University together. And it was interesting because once I got here, your family adopted me as one of the family, and I spent a lot of time around Dr. Jack and you and your brother. So I must say that because of that leadership that your father gave this community, I felt he was as close to a Martin Luther King as far as representing his people in this community. So my hat off to him. And I know at this time he would be very proud of you, of continuing his legacy of being a leader in our community as the Tarrant County Commissioner in your district.
I'm
So,
hopeful that that's true, that he would be proud of me.
yeah, he was a man that had an opinion, and he shared that opinion in his leadership. As you say, that, you know, if you couldn't afford to pay for medical service, you know, he would not serve you. So there's so many babies that were born and so many people that were helped in this community because of the leadership of your father. And there's a building over in the medical district that is named after him. The health,
The
the health.
Tarrant County Public Health Building at Main and East Rosedale Street is named in his honor. It's the Dr. Mary and J. Brooks Tarrant County Public Health Building. It's the headquarters for our health department here in Tarrant County.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And right now, as we're moving forward, and that year 51 was very important to me too, because that was the year I was born in 1951.
Well,
For
I've
sure.
got you by a couple of years, Jim.
Okay, okay. Well, now I know you're my older brother, not my younger brother. so, so that's good. So right now, Tarrant County is we're in an election year, and a lot of people are voting right now and trying to make sure that their vote counts. And it's very important to get out there and vote. So, any advice that you might have, someone that's thinking about whether they should vote or not?
Jim, I think you and I can agree that this is perhaps the most important election of our lifetimes. It will determine the course of America for many years to come. I am trying to keep this nonpartisan, but it's a difficult thing to do.
Yes, sir.
Feel like our nation during the past 4 years has gotten off track. And we need to return it to a place where people can be civil with each other. People can respect each other. That there are not attempts to drive wedges between various groups of people coming from the White House. We need to return this nation to government based upon unity, e pluribus unum, out of many, one, rather than pitting one community against another community and basing all of this on the hatred of peoples and cultures and ethnicities and immigration status, and a whole laundry list of things that are used to divide us. We had the opportunity in this election to unite this nation once again And we all must go vote and choose how this nation will go forward. Now, the early vote totals, we are in the early voting period. It started a week ago, Tuesday. The numbers are pointing towards a record turnout of voters here in Tarrant County. Unfortunately, I don't know which way that record turnout is leaning, but I'm glad that people are voting, because voting is a right that our ancestors bled and died to achieve for us. And for us to sit back and vote, saying such things as my vote doesn't count and they gonna do what they want to anyway, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your vote doesn't count if you don't vote. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway unless you vote.
Yes, sir.
So it's important that every one of us should vote. Every time that there's an election, I often say that if they're going to hold an election, a dog catcher in this community, then you need to go vote for that person who catches dogs the way you think dogs ought to be caught in our community. Every election is important. And elections are how we decide in this community how resources, no, in this country, elections are how we decide in this country how resources are allocated. Communities that vote get stuff. Communities that don't vote get left behind. So let's be a voting community.
Very, very important, you know, and is right now, and it's important to get out and vote early, because I can imagine on November the 3rd, it's just going to be just a real bad situation, because you see from the news the lines that are formulating that people are just going to, they want to vote, you know, and I voted on day 2, and it was a process that took 15, 20 minutes. And I was glad to go ahead and get in there. So I agree that if you don't vote, you don't have anything to say, because a lot of our ancestors died for this exact opportunity for us to be able to vote. And there's so many people that this election is so important right now. So do get out.
One thing I want to point out is that the early voting locations will be open on Saturday this week from 7 to 7, and on Sunday from 11 to 4. So this coming Sunday is our traditional Souls to the Polls Day, where we're asking pastors and ecclesiastical leaders of all types to take their people from worship service that morning to the nearest voting place, and y'all go vote together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vote, the important message too. Are you running for election this term, sir?
I am running for re-election. And you will find my name on the last page of your ballot. One spot from the bottom of that ballot. So it is important. It's important overall, and it's important to me that people vote the entire ballot. You've got to go race by race by race and pick out who you want to vote in each race. Now, of course, my preference would be that you vote for every Democrat on the ballot. But it's important that if that is not your strategy, that you at least go and vote from the top of the ballot all the way down to the bottom of the ballot. If you do that, you will have done a good job.
I agree. I agree, and it is so important to get out and vote. And I think, Roy, we can agree that, being a resident of Fort Worth and living in the great state of Texas, that this is a opportunity for people to get out and exercise their rights to vote.
Absolutely. And every person who is eligible to vote to be voting.
Yes, yes, yes. One of the other things that we're dealing with is the pandemic, and wearing your mask and staying your distance and washing your hands, because by all indications, this thing is getting a lot more serious than in the past. So it's
I've got my mask right here. I never leave home without it. I even carry masks in my glove compartment in case I leave home and forget to pick up one on the way out the door. We'll always have a mask. The fact is that the infection numbers in Tarrant County are increasing. We are in a period where the disease is spiking in Tarrant County. A month ago, we averaged 200 to 300 new cases a day. Now we are averaging 500 to 700 new cases a day. And anywhere from 2 to 8 deaths a day in Tarrant County. This is serious business. And it looks like it's going to be with us for a while. So we cannot afford to be caught up in pandemic fatigue. If we let our guards down, then that is what allows the disease to spread in our community. So we've got to continue to wear our masks, continue to social distance, continue to frequently wash our hands. And one more important thing, Jim.
Yes.
We got to get flu shots.
Yes.
The combination of the flu and COVID-19 is going to be a dangerous situation in our communities. We've got to head that off as we head into flu season. Get a flu shot.
I got mine. My wife got hers. My daughter.
I lined up my entire staff and we got flu shots together. That was the only way I could be sure that we wouldn't have flu running around our office.
Yeah. And it's so simple. I mean, you go in the pharmacy, they put you in a little, take you behind a little wall, and bam. I mean, it's less than 10 minutes, to get a flu shot.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those important things for us to do. And this is a time when there are a lot of important things for us to do, Jim. And we've got to pay attention and make sure that we do what's right for our personal health, for the health of our families, the health of our community, and the health of our nation.
So true. Ditto, ditto, ditto. So this is the Austin File, powered by Jim Austin Online. This is Commissioner Roy C. Brooks, coming to you on
Roy Charles.
Roy Charles. Get it right. And he's a good brother. So if I could vote for him, if he were in my district, I would vote for him. So Roy, is there any last words before we sign off, sir, that you'd like to share with my audience?
I would tell you that you are in my district, Jim. So I hope that you did vote for me. It's important who you send downtown to represent you on your behalf. You want somebody with experience, someone who knows how to make the system work for us. In Tarrant County Precinct 1, I am that person. So I would respectfully ask for your vote. But please vote.
Very important. This is your boy Jim Austin coming to you on the Austin File. This is my weekly podcast. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you get a chance, visit my website. There's probably 20 or 25 podcasts up there. We try to share information that's important to our community. Roy, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk with you.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk with Jim Austin online fans, which I am one.
Thank you, sir. You just made my day.
Thank you, Jimmy. You take care of yourself.